It was a windy day across the region today with peak gusts up in the 60s. Those strong winds brought down trees across the area, blocking roads, knocking out power to thousands, and even claimed 2 lives. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. Those strong winds actually peaked at almost 70 miles an hour. Several of our viewers have been sharing photos and videos of the wind damage. These photos show a tree that came down on a house near Celtice and Atlas in Coeur d'Alene. You can see just a big mess there, but fortunately, it doesn't look like the tree broke through the roof, and that is a good thing. The high winds knocked out a lot of power lines, though, to thousands of people across the inland Northwest. Crews still working right now to restore power to everyone. Right now, Avista has the most outages. They report more than 67 active outages at this hour, with about 1,700 impacted customers. At the height of the storm today, 7,600 customers were without power. The outages are spread across the area, including Spokane, Spokane Valley, and Coeur d'Alene, and south to Steptoe. Inland Power has about 180 customers who are affected right now. This morning, though, they were reporting about 2,400 customers without power. Most of the outages were spread throughout Spokane County, including Cheney as well as Deer Park. And at this hour, Kootenai Electric is reporting about 280 customers impacted by the outages. This morning, they reported more than 3,500 customers were without power. The majority of those outages were west of Lake Coeur d'Alene. Spokane Parks and Rec announcing the Manitou Holiday Lights display now canceled, at least for now. That's because of damage from the severe winds today, including downed trees and power loss. No word on when they might reopen. And it wasn't just homes and businesses. Power outages also impacted schools across the inland Northwest today. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy traveled to Hayden, Idaho, where more than 500 students ended the day early.
Across North Idaho, pines swayed and lines of lights did the twist. While inside this Hayden school, that hallway monitor hand jive is how security officer Stan Peterson provided a support in the storm.
Yeah, it is. As you can see, the wind's still blowing.
Giant trees like this one snapped in Wednesday's windstorm. And while I'm standing just feet from Hayden Canyon Charter School, it was actually another downed tree that canceled classes here.
So that knocked out our heating system, knocked out all the lights, obviously, in the school. So the lift station that shoots our sewer water down to the main, that went out.
Knocking out about 5 hours of the day for 580 students who likely did the happy dance as they exited by emergency light. At a school where hikes and exploring are part of the curriculum.
So we're an outdoor exploring type school.
Consider it the day's last lesson, courtesy of Mother Nature herself. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Today's windstorm turned deadly early this morning when a tree fell on a box truck, causing it to go off the road. That happened on Highway 2 near East Airport Drive and Sunset Frontage Road. KREM 2's Regan Gallo has been following this story and brings us the latest tonight.
Well, there were many fallen trees on the road today, but I am told by police there was only one deadly accident. 2 men died after a tree fell on their vehicle. This happened about 6:30 in the morning on Highway 2 near the airport exit.
Washington State Patrol tells me this was a freak accident. They say the winds were between 45 and 50 miles per hour, which knocked the tree to the ground.
Units arrived. They indicated that there was a tree fully across the eastbound and westbound lanes, and a box truck was off into the trees and several vehicles on the shoulders of the right shoulder of the eastbound lanes.
The Spokane County Medical Examiner has not released the identities of the people killed and won't until next of kin has been notified. They expect to release those names tomorrow. This was the only deadly incident in the area, but Washington State Department of Transportation East responded to multiple wind and tree debris accidents.
Trees down reported on Highway 20 near Tiger, which is east of Colville, and then another report on 395 kind of north on Deer Park, and then one closer to Loon Lake, and an additional one on Highway US 195 south of Spokane.
And as wind and fallen trees have been consistent throughout the day, Washington DOT say they want drivers to be extra cautious on the road.
Move over and slow down. So if there is another lane available for people to move over while we are working on the side of the road, that is the law.
And we will continue to follow up on that deadly accident from this morning. We just found out the truck was a company vehicle from a company called Stericycle. They have an office over in Airway Heights. Stericycle did tell KREM in an email that they are grateful to the authorities who responded to the scene, and they are sending deepest condolences to the families and friends impacted. In Spokane, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
So the good news is the winds are dying down this evening. Still gusty, though, there across the northwest.
So how are we looking as we head into the evening? Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Lagoud joining us now with more on what we can expect in the coming hours. Jeremy?
Well, I think the worst of the wind is well behind us. A couple of gusts up around 20 miles per hour aren't out of the question, but a 20-mile-per-hour wind gust is an average Wednesday. Today was not so average. A max peak gust of 68 miles per hour here in town accompanied a serious warm-up. When it comes to those gusts, 68 here, 60 down in the Pullman-Moscow Airport, Post Falls, up near 50 miles per hour, and 4th of July Pass, 71 miles per hour. That is incredible. To put this in perspective, 2 times in history in Spokane, we've recorded a stronger non-thunderstorm wind gust. That was 2015 and then again in 2021 in our 2 major windstorms that hit the region. Thankfully, wind is going to continue to ebb. Looks like it will fall apart and die down by, say, 9 p.m. tonight. With that, it is likely that our temperatures go from right near 40 degrees right now all the way down below freezing across the region. It's those clear skies, it's the calming wind, it's the radiative cooling. It's a big change. And as that big change settles in, those clear skies will eventually turn to cloudy skies. Mostly cloudy Thursday, Friday with a high near 40 degrees, lows down near freezing, and then rain returns, but not until Saturday afternoon.
Jeremy, thank you. Tonight we are tracking new developments in the case of a missing North Idaho woman. 65-year-old Sharon Davidson has been found dead. She disappeared on Sunday, December 14th. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office search and rescue team found her this morning on her property near south of Coeur d'Alene. A lieutenant tells KREM 2 News the death does not appear to be suspicious, but the investigation is still ongoing. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as we get them.
New pictures tonight of a rescue on Schweitzer Mountain in North Idaho. Selkirk Fire was called to a car that slid over the side of a steep drop at around 6:30 last night. Firefighters say that car was about 40 to 50 feet down the cliff. 3 people were stuck inside and had to be rescued from the car. It took crews about an hour to get them out. Firefighters say the 3 people were evaluated and all declined to go to the hospital.
Wow.